Good morning. Hello and welcome to the UFC 277 recap show, the morning after, right here on the MMA Engine channel. I'm your host, Monk, aka the Monkmatician, and thank you so much for joining me this morning. Guys, we're going to take about 20 minutes. We're going to go over the results of last night, CM Monk's picks, the DraftKings optimal lineup for UFC 277, and CM Monk's bets as well. So before we get into it, guys, who and what the hell is CM Monk? That is a thing that I built. It's not a model. It is not an algorithm. It's just a thing that I built that picks fights and makes bets based purely on statistics, Vegas odds, 50, 60, 70 maybe data points at this point that we use, to pick fights. So that is the short end of it. If you want to know more, please send me a DM, put a comment in the comments, and I will gladly explain. But that is the short, unshaven Sunday morning version of what CM Monk is. So, guys, let's get right into it. First things first fight of the night. Orion Kosei going against Mike Mateta, aka Blood Diamond. I told you this one was going to be extremely high variance. You had to play a bit of both sides in DraftKings, and it turns out that you didn't have to play any of it in DraftKings. In fact, they almost knocked each other out with a double spinning back fist first fight of the night. This was an extreme slop fest, you guys. Kosei gets the unanimous decision, and at 8,800, he scores only 82 points. Does not pay off his salary. And Blood Diamond, I mean, what's next for this guy? Does he get a third fight? What do you guys think? Is he going to get probably cut from the UFC is what I would imagine. Yeah, I mean, Kosuke did not look great and still got probably 2 rounds to 1 in that one, in my opinion. Next fight, Nick Nicky Gums, as we so affectionately call him here on this channel, going against Ihor Pateria. Guys, this was a Dana White Contender Series fade. Pateria looked like, kind of a monster coming into it, but Nicky Gums immediately shut that whole shit down, shut that narrative down, beat him up in the first round. By the end of the first, I don't think he even wanted to come back out for the second round, and then Nicky Gums absolutely took it to him, finishing the fight in the second round brutally. 7,800, he put up over 111, so easily paid off his salary. Third fight, Fire Fist Ji Young Kim going against Jocelyn Edwards. I mean, if you didn't stay away from this one, as far as betting goes, I don't know what to tell you. Jocelyn Edwards wins by split decision, scores 82 points, and we will bring her up again in a few minutes. Don't you worry. Next fight, Michael Morales, the young Michael Morales going against Adam Fugit. Please no more jokes about Adam Fugit. Fugit, whatever, Fugit. Those, dude, you guys just discovered wordplay. It's only, thank you, Locker Room. Let me pivot off of my little rant there. Good morning to Locker Room. Yes, please do gloat about Jocelyn Edwards, man. Everybody was on Kim this week for some odd reason. I mean, Edwards is no world beater, but I wasn't thinking that Kim was going to get that one. Hit Edwards by split. Justin Nelson, nice, plus 750. That is huge. That was definitely the way to play that one. So good call there. But yeah, Michael Morales, 9,500. I told you to smash him. Yes, Fugit did look a bit better than anyone expected. He still gets dealt with. I feel like he lost every minute of that fight. I don't think it was that close. I mean, he did land a couple of shots, but Michael Morales, I mean, had his mouth closed the entire time, was conserving his energy, and then finishes the fight in the third round. What more do you want? 99.76 points, so he does 10x his salary at 9,500. Drakkar Klose against Rafa Garcia. Don't call me Hafa Garcia. This one was close, man. I love the Rafa Garcia. I told you if you were holding a Drakkar Klose ticket at minus 200, I had questions for you, and those questions were answered. He did not look like a minus 200 favorite, in my opinion. Scores 78 in his win, but Rafa Garcia puts up 43.6 in his loss. I told you that was probably going to happen if he lost. Decent for cash. Man, that was a close fight. Drakkar wins by unanimous decision. Our second loss of the night for CM Monk. Third loss of the night was Dontel Mays going against Hamdi Abdelwahab. Guys, obviously, Computer Monk's picking Dontel Mays. Hamdi has no stats. That's why we picked Dontel Mays. Ends up being a split decision in which Abdelwahab gets the win and almost scores 100 points. This one was extremely high variance. We did not put a bet in on this one because CM Monk does not bet anyone that has less than 15 minutes of UFC fight time. Also, Dontel Mays sucks. I understand the little sprinkles at the sub rate of plus 200. I'm cool with that, but I don't see how you can put any kind of big money on Dontel Mays. But hey, it is hindsight 2020. And I did not make the bet, so I'm cool with that. Next fight, Drew Dober, Omaha guy, second Omaha guy on the card, or first Omaha guy on the card, I should say, going against Rafael Alves, gets the finish. We predicted Drew Dober by finish, and we get it in the third round. Dober again coming on late like a truck. Wins has scored 79, almost 80 points in his win, looking fantastic there. Next fight, Alex Morono against Matthew Semmelsberger. We got this one wrong, and it did not look close, guys. Alex Morono, Semmelsberger had a few moments in the second and third, but Morono pretty much dominated, for lack of a better word. I mean, he swelled up Semmelsberger's left eye to the point where I don't even think he could see out of it halfway through the second and into the third round. So Morono, while not 10xing his salary, gets the win. Semmelsberger does okay, though. 51 points in a loss. I mean, you never want your guy to get a loss, but 51 points in a loss is pretty good. First fight of the main card, Magomed Ankalaev going against the second Omaha guy on the card, who I was really hoping would win, but I kind of felt wasn't going to. Anthony Smith. Muhammad Ankalaev we picked by finish, and that's exactly what happened. Anthony Smith breaks his ankle. I know the commentary was saying his leg. They said basically his whole, everything. They just started listing body parts and saying they were broken. I have a lot of issues with the commentary team last night. Usually I don't get into commentary team. I don't really care what they do. They were trash last night, obviously, except my guy, John Anik. These guys were trash last night, man. So we'll get into that, especially on the main event. But Ankalaev looked fantastic. I mean, there was nothing Anthony Smith could do. I don't know. Supposedly he broke his ankle with a kick late in the first round, but the whole first round, he didn't do much of anything to write home about. So Ankalaev at 9,400, 10x is his salary. Alejandro Pantoja, and Alex Perez. We picked Alex Perez. I really thought he had a good chance here. The stats picked him 52 to 48%. And Pantoja came out like a man on fire, starring Denzel Washington. Zach Singleton, what's happening? It's not broke. What's not broke? Oh, his ankle. Really? I would love to hear more about that if you don't mind putting that in chat. I've gone completely dark. I watched the press conference last night. Woke up about an hour ago after a few hours of sleep. And I haven't watched anything yet this morning. So I'd love if you elaborate on that. I'm glad his ankle's not broken. He's getting MRI in Omaha, but X-ray shows no break. That is fantastic. And hey, we got some great team of doctors over there at the hospitals in Omaha. So I know for a fact they will fix him up right, get some PT in there. My guy will be ready to go again. Who do you guys think he should fight next? I mean, he came off the 3-fight win streak, looked really kind of not great against Ankalaev. Who do you think he should fight next? Anyways, Alex Perez, I thought I thought this was a good dog play. It was not. Pantoja looked every bit of the $8,700 favorite. He came out, like I said, like a man on fire, gets the round one submission, standing rear naked choke, scores 100 points, finishes it in like 90 seconds or something like that, and then just goes off in his post-fight presser or his post-fight interview. Fantastic. Love to see the fire in that, and whoever he fights next is going to be a banger. Alejandro Pantoja, do not sleep on him. And Alex Perez, to see that, what were you trying to get my guy killed? Come on, Zach. Come on, bud. I don't want to see that. Almeida's going to smash him. I think Almeida smashes anybody at this point until he proves otherwise. He is a world beater. But yeah, Alex Perez coming off of a 1.5-year layoff to get standing choked, where it was on the jaw, wasn't even under the neck. Or under the chin, I should say. Not a good look for him. Derek Lewis, Sergey Pavlovich, a lot of people on the ref for this one. We picked Sergey Pavlovich by finish. That's exactly what happened. Derek Lewis was stumbling around, got hit with a few clean shots. I'm going to have to watch it again, guys. I only watched it once. I described it as he basically face planted on the ground, arms out in like a child's pose position. Only for a second. He did get right back up. But man, the optics on that were bad. Pavlovich getting the quick win bonus, scoring 131 points in his first round knockout against Derek Lewis. So I told you had to play that one, play both sides. I was 2-1 on Pavlovich, so it worked in my favor. Sergey would have finished him. Exactly. Like, how much more damage did you want? Oh, his punches weren't even landing. Like, they were landing, not all of them, obviously, but they were landing. And Pavlovich hits like a freaking truck, obviously, since he put Derek Lewis down. How much more damage did you want this guy to take? I mean, I just don't understand the argument. Like, okay, let him keep fighting, but for what reason? Like, yeah, he could. It's Derek Lewis. He could land that. Yeah, maybe. I'll give you that because we can't tell. But in hindsight, I like the stoppage. I think it was a good stoppage. And congratulations to Sergey Pavlovich. Next fight, co-main event, Brandon Moreno going against Kai Kara France. I was very interested to see the judges' scorecards in this one. One of the judges had given the first 2 rounds to Kara France. Am I crazy? Yeah, it looked bad. Derek face planted. It looked really bad, Zach. I agree. Am I crazy that Kai Kara France did not win those first 2 rounds? I mean, maybe they were close, but I thought Brandon Moreno was doing well. I did think Kai Kara France won the first 2.5, 3 minutes of the second round, or the third round, excuse me. Kai Kara France all of a sudden, turned it on, cut Brandon Moreno open. I mean, which I think it was the right eye, just a huge gash under his eye. Looks really bad today and after the fight, but I honestly I thought Moreno had the first 2 rounds, that Kai Kara France was definitely turning it on in the third. But then, man, that liver kick, apparently he hit him right in the liver with his toe, puts Kai Kara France down. It happened so quickly. I actually thought it was I'll have to rewatch it, but I don't mind that, Kendra. I'll have to rewatch it. He could have, because he was definitely turning it on in the third. So maybe there was a shift in the second that I just kind of missed. So yeah, it could have been 1-1 easily going into that third. I don't have a problem with that. But it looked like Moreno had happened. So it looked like he kicked him in the dick. And then Kai Kara France goes down. I'm like, oh no. And then Moreno rushes and I'm like, what are you doing? You kicked him in the dick. But obviously I was wrong. My eyes deceived me. And it was a great liver shot that puts Kai Kara France down. Moreno finishes it. In the third round, looked absolutely great. Gets the call out to Davis and Figueiredo. Apparently, we're going to see that for a 4th time, which I have mixed feelings about. Get Pantoja in there, in my opinion. Small money on Kai and thought Moreno. Yeah, so I mean, it was close. I think between you and Kendra, it's either 2-0, 1-1. I don't have a problem with either one of those, but we do know Kai Kara France was definitely turning it on in that third round. And then the main event of the evening, Juliana Pena going against Amanda Nunes. Amanda Nunes we picked to finish. She wins by unanimous decision. It looked like she was just kind of playing with her food there for a while, but she dropped Juliana Pena no less than 5 times. And the commentary, every time Juliana Pena tried to get an arm bar, or in which she was grabbing the glove, or an omoplata, it's locked in. The submission's locked in. Guys, if a submission is locked in, expect a tap. Unless you're Alex Volkanovski, if I hear the commentary say the submission is locked in, I'm thinking the fight is going to be over. I'm expecting a tap. She must have had 13 submissions locked in, according to the commentary team. It was an absolute joke what these guys were talking about. It was insane. I cannot stand the commentary team last night. So yeah, not many. Yeah, no kidding. That was amazing to see. Yeah, I don't want to see a 4th fight either. Like I said, get Pantoja in there, something. I don't know. Oh no, he kicked it. Yeah, it looked like he did kick him in the dick. Pena looked like, yeah. I mean, obviously the first fight was a function of Amanda having COVID. She had no cardio, and that was it. I mean, she absolutely dominated from pillar to post, as they say, this fight. Juliana Pena didn't let me. That one knockdown where it's all over. I mean, it's all over Twitter today. She looks like Ronda freaking Rousey throwing these punches. She just swinging weak ass punches, wide looping punches walking in, and Amanda knocks her down while stepping back. Absolutely insane. Amanda was 100. Yes, exactly. She made her look like an amateur because she was 100% on point. I mean, the camp obviously went well. The cardio issues were gone. She went all 5 rounds. Yeah, her eye was swollen, but she fought for 25 minutes. She's not going to be unmarked. So she does get that win by decision. She only got 3. Really? That would be insane, because she scored 153 points. I mean, how many takedowns did she? I haven't even looked at the stats yet. I've not put in any of my stats from last night, but I mean, the amount of takedowns and knockdowns was insane. 153. That's a Rafael dos Anjos number. When he fought Moicano. I mean, come on, guys, 153 points. So yeah, 7 finishes is what we ended up with on UFC 277 in Houston. CM Monk goes 8-5, so not a great night, but not terrible. 61.54%. On the year, we are 191 picks correct out of 317 total fights for a 60.25%. So we are still above 60%. Not bad for CM Monk, who just picks based on data points and stuff like that. Let's get into the DraftKings optimal lineup. Here it is right here, guys. Obviously, Amanda Nunes, 9,200, 153.47. 5 knockdowns would have been a record for sure in a women's bantamweight division. I don't know about the UFC. Maybe somebody can get on that. But yeah, I'll definitely be looking after this recording, Kendra. I definitely love to see that. It could be a record for a title fight as well. Who knows? I mean, usually you don't see two of the best in the division. One doesn't get dominated like that. But hey, you never know. Amanda Nunes, 9,200. She puts up 153.47. As I said, a 16.68 value off an over 90 or off a 9,200 salary. Incredible. She kicks my guy Michael Morales off, who I was hoping would make the optimal because of the 9,500 salary, but still was very close. Did not quite make it. Just a bit too expensive. We had a very expensive optimal this week. Alejandra Pantoja makes it at 8,700, puts up 100 points, 11.5 value. Jocelyn Edwards making it at 8,300, guys, 82 points, almost a 10x, not quite. This did turn into a catchweight fight, so those have a 53% chance of making optimal, and it indeed did that. Sergey Pavlovich obviously making the optimal lineup, 8,200, second best score on the entire card with the quick win bonus over Derek Lewis, 131 points, 16x his salary. So good for Sergey there. Quick win or not, you should have had a bunch of him in your lineups, guys. You just should have. Especially if you listen to Game Theory over on the Monk Maddox channel. Be sure to do that. Nicky Gums, Nick Negamariano makes the optimal third highest score of the night, I believe, 7,800. The dog salary, I still do not understand these odds or that salary, why you would give the DWCS newcomer favorite odds, but whatever. 111, almost 112, 14.34 average value. And then not really. Hamdi Abdelwahab, his first fight in the UFC, getting slandered all week. Dante Almeida's going to whoop this dude's ass. Did not go that way. $7,700. The second best salary now out of all salaries is $7,700, guys. He scores 99.68 points with a 13x value. Our total salary, $49,900. So we are back up into the high salaries, especially compared to last week, in which it was, or I guess 49.5. The week before was 47.2. Total score, 678.25. I know a few people in the $25 tournament had this. I think it was duped like 4 times. So congratulations if you had anything close to that. You had to play Nunes, had to play Pavlovich, and you had to play Nicky Gums. Guys, that is the optimal lineup. Let's see our best fighters of the night. I usually pick 3 of them. Obviously, Amanda Nunes, 153, absolutely incredible. Pavlovich, fantastic. Nicky Gums. And then who else? We had a few guys left off the optimal lineup that scored 99 points. Let's see, Michael Morales, one of them. Hamdi makes it because he was cheaper, the underdog there. Let's see, what else do we have? Pantoja made it 100 points. Ankalaev did not make it, 96 points, right about his average, guys. He usually does not put up 100 points, and it happened again. He's just not very high volume for the most part, but gets the job done now with the second longest win streak ever, I believe, at light heavyweight behind John Jones. I think it's 9 at this point. So, yeah, ridiculous. How many times did Barry? Yeah. How many times did somebody hit the mat in that one? I think it was at least 8 times, Justin. You're absolutely right. Hambone embarrassed Mays. Yeah, man. What had happened? Exactly. That's what I was saying. What had happened? Mays looked terrible. Just absolutely terrible. I mean, nothing else I can say. Anything else I'll say, it'll just, hurt people's feelings. I'm not trying to do that this morning. But yeah, CM Monk did not bet that one. Thank God. But yeah, I had no action on that one. Speaking of CM Monk, let's finish off the show here. We're already at 20 minutes, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around. Hit the like, hit the subscribe on the MMA Engine channel. It's me, Wheezy, Brady, and Lou, bringing you content several times a day, several days a week before every single UFC card. So get on that and you won't miss anything. Only 3 fights last night, 3 bets for, sorry, I have something in my eye, don't mind me. 3 bets for Computer Monk. It was unfortunately a losing night, but we only lost like 0.4 units. Let's check this out. We had 2 money line bets. Perez over Pantoja, that was god awful. We got it at plus 165. It looked like it could have been plus 500 because Perez did absolutely nothing in that fight. We lose that one. Rafa Garcia against Dracarclos, we got that at plus 186, and I thought obviously it was a decent read. Close fight, but I think Close had it. Did not look great, did not pay off the $9,100 salary, that's for sure, and did not look like a minus 200 favorite. In my personal opinion, I would have been sweating balls if I had that minus 200 ticket for Dracarclos. The one fight, thank goodness, we did win. We avoid the sweep, reverse sweep rather, was the does not go to decision between Ankalaev and Smith. Gets finished early in the second round. We got that at plus money, plus 104. So we did end up cashing that one. Let's scroll over, guys. Like I said, we lost $40, almost $41. Went down 0.42 units, and our unit size, just to refresh, was $96.91, which is 2% of our total bankroll. ROI 17 minus 17.5. Ended up with 48.04, so we are $195.18 below our starting bankroll. So not too bad, not great. We are down 1.26 units. The unit size does fluctuate every week. Yeah, Zach, it is crazy how many. I mean, too much trust in a guy that is unproven. Not a great fighter, and an extremely high variance, because we knew nothing about Hamdi Abdelwahab. Everybody was just saying he was a fraud, blah, blah, blah. Clearly, I mean, I guess if beating Don'Tale Mayes doesn't make you a fraud, then he's not a fraud. But he looked decent, guys. He looked decent, and Don'Tale, that's more than I can say for Don'Tale Mayes. Anyways, let's change our bankroll live like we do every week. We lost, so we're only down about $40, so it'll stay about the same. 8404.82. Our current bankroll for next week, 9610. So 2%. We started off with $5,000. Let's just make this clear. I'm placing some of these bets personally, not all of them. Computer Monk is a thing I'm built to see what happens. I'm trying to basically build a thing that picks bets for me and is successful. So that's what we're trying to do here. Again, the money line bets is where I am failing. Where Computer Monk is absolutely failing. We are 8-21 on money line bets, minus 35% ROI. That is absolute dog shit. Where we are shining are the props. We have money line bets, we have doesn't go to decision bets, and we have go to decision bets. Goes to decision, I'm pretty much 500, positive almost 3 ROI. The doesn't go to decision bets for CM Monk, 9-3, 40% ROI. Thank God, that's the only thing saving us right now. So we are 9 events in. One more event next week is 10 events. That's UFC Vegas 59. We're gonna see how the money lines go. If we're bad again, guys, after 10 fights, this is where I'm gonna start making some changes on what stats I weigh and how I weigh them, because obviously something is going wrong. CM Monk is picking the wrong dogs. We are only 8-21 as far as money lines go, and a minus 35% is absolutely unacceptable. Overall, we are down almost $200, minus 3% ROI, 27, 35, and 1 on our wagers. Like I said, the prop bets are the only thing keeping me alive right now. The money line, something's going to have to change. I'm going to have to go into the stats and, like I said, figure out how to work them. But I wanted to get at least 10 events in just to see, I'm not going to light the whole country on fire just because I had one bad event. But we are 2 weeks in a row in the red. Still, 5 weeks in the green, 4 weeks in the red is what we're doing. It's the very first week that killed us, minus a bunch of units, 6.17 units off the bat. So we're still trying to dig ourselves out of the hole. We were in the green for 1 week on Bet MMA tips, and we will get back. I can assure you that. I just got to figure out how I'm going to change the money line calculations to where we start picking better dogs, guys. That's the whole issue. We're mostly picking dogs at plus money, obviously, as you can see from all the money line bets I've made, but we're just picking the wrong ones. So we're going to have to get on that. I want to see what week 10 brings. So I am looking forward to that. I have not done all the stats, but let's just look. Let's see what CM Monk is looking at, even though I've not done all the stats. He sees, oh God, I really don't want to bet on Thiago Santos. I don't want to bet on Jeff Neal either. And I don't want to bet on Stephanie Egger. CM Monk, what are you doing here, man? Like, hopefully once we get these strength of schedule stats in and finish the stats, that some of that will change. But God, these are tough dogs. It's like he's intentionally picking the hardest dogs. And then I expect that, maybe 8-21 is good for how poorly he's picking these dogs. So like I said, maybe a couple of tweaks in order, but I will get into 10 events first before I start to light the whole thing on fire. This is a little experiment, guys. So, it's just fun to do. I'm sweating it like I actually have real money on it. Some of these, like I said, some of these I do play, but some of them I don't. I did not play the Perez I did not play Perez. I played Garcia in life, and I did play the Ankalaev Smith doesn't go to decision. So I did not get absolutely starched like some people did this week. But let's check out the comments, guys. Any more questions? We're probably going to wrap it up here. Let's see what I learned. There were some really bad examples of fight IQ last night. Who was the other one I was looking at? Definitely Dante looked bad. Who was the other one? I mean, Alex Perez, I don't know what his game plan was. He had no answer for Pantoja going in. Egger's good. Yeah, Egger is good, but yeah, she's, you're right. You're right, V. Kendra. You are right about that. But and in fact, see among picking Egger to win so far. But like I said, I don't have all my stats in yet. Myra Bueno Silva, though, I don't know, man. I low level MMA, women's MMA, who knows? High variance, right? So guys, that is going to do it. Thank you so much, everyone that stuck around a little bit longer than usual today. But I do love chopping fights up the morning after with you guys. So be sure to hit the like, hit the subscribe button as well. And we will be back next week. Yeah, you could be right. I mean, maybe that's a good bet. I'm gonna have to look into it a little more. We will be back next week. Look forward to my game theory video, which should be out on Tuesday or Wednesday on the Monk Maddox channel. We have tons of stuff coming down the pipe for MMA Engine. We do not stop over here. So we have tons of stuff coming up for UFC Vegas 59. We will try to make it as entertaining as possible because the card itself, not that great. So yeah, guys, thank you again for sticking around. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And as usual, I want all of you to enjoy the fight. So enjoy, and we will see you next time.